Welcome to our hangout on Chrome accessibility. We are talking to you today about the work we are doing on the Chrome OS platform for blind and low vision users. With me, I have James DeBoer on my engineering team on my right, and next to him we have Charles Chen. And under the table, watching the doggy cam, we have Tilden Labrador. Brief overview of what we'll talk about today. Chrome OS is this really nice environment that runs on Chromebooks and ChromeVoxes. That's a lightweight desktop, laptop environment. You open your laptop, within 5 seconds you're on the network and reading email and doing what you normally do on the web. What we wanted to do was to bring that same level of simplicity and efficiency of access to blind and low vision users. And the result of that work is this tool that we call ChromeVox, which is a Chrome extension that runs on pretty much every platform that Chrome runs, all the way from Linux, Mac, Windows, Chrome OS, and Android actually. For today, we will be focusing on Chrome OS end-to-end to show you how end-user access works. So what we are talking about here is primarily spoken output for the blind user. The blind user is perfectly capable of using a keyboard, touch type. Chromebooks keyboards are just regular QWERTY keyboards, so we don't have to do anything special there. We actually have ChromeVox built into every Chrome OS device. It comes with a text-to-speech voice that is fairly understandable but not very high quality, and then users can actually get a higher quality voice from the Chrome Web Store. So for most of this demo, you'll actually hear the higher quality voice. High level overview of the sequence of things we'll show you. Charles will start off by showing you how you can pick up a generic Chromebook, hit a single key, and as a blind user start using it, including setting it up, logging in, setting up the network, all that good stuff. And as he's doing that initial bit, you'll hear the built-in lower quality voice. But then once he's signed in, you'll notice that the quality of text-to-speech drastically improves. So Charles, once he has that set up, will do a couple of web searches, show you how you can listen to web content using ChromeVox, and then hand it over to James, who will show you how web apps work in this world. I mean, today, things like Chrome OS are motivated by the fact that the web is more than just static documents. It's a web of applications. Chrome OS, basically all the applications live in the cloud, and that's what James will show you with Google Docs. After that, what we'll do is move on to some developer-focused bits. So what we really want to show the web community here is how end users work with this technology, but then how you as web developers can leverage this technology to make sure that what you're building is accessible. Accessibility has always been a challenge because it's traditionally been fairly complex to test and verify accessibility. And one of the things we believe is that by making that technology available to every developer, we drastically increase the chances of creating web content and web apps that are accessible. So Charles and James will demo some of that, including best practices. And then finally, James will come back to something really cool, which is we as engineers develop ChromeVox, and ChromeVox itself is a fairly complex web extension at this point. And so we need to test ChromeVox to make sure it is doing the right thing. And James will show you a test harness that we've built inside ChromeVox that lets us do that as engineers. And this is an open source project. We'll finally wrap up with a quick tour of where the code is so that you can learn and leverage what we're building. So with that, we'll go to the first stage of this talk, which is Charles showing you out-of-box access on a Chromebook. And to repeat, there is nothing special about that Chromebook he's holding. You could go to your local Best Buy or Amazon or whatever and buy a Chromebook, and you will get exactly what he's about to open and show you.
Thanks, Raman. So let's go over to my Chromebook here. I'm going to log in. And first, you'll notice that this is just, like Raman said, this is a standard Chromebook, nothing special about it. It's not talking yet. So let's get it talking. It's a very simple command sequence, Control, Alt, and Z. You press these keys together and it will start speaking. So let's do that.
Enabling spoken feedback.
Okay, you just heard it say enabling spoken feedback. You also see that there's now a focus rectangle showing where it thinks its focus is. And so let's log in and get on the web.
Dot.
Okay, and notice how it just said dot, so it's not going to blur out my password, which is kind of nice.
Signing in. Connected to Google Guest.
Okay, so it told me I signed in. I'm on Google Guest, ready to roll. So let's learn a little bit more about Chrome. I'm going to do a search for Wikipedia and Chrome, and let's see what we get. Okay.
Wikipedia, Chrome, Google search.
Now notice that the voice quality has gone up drastically. That's because he's now signed in and it's using the higher quality voice that is there on the box.
Okay, and now I can show you I can do some simple things such as tabbing around this page.
Main ordered list with 10 items, list item, Google, line heading 3.
Okay, so this actually got me to the first search result. If I wanted to read around a bit, I can do that as well. All I have to do is hit the ChromeVox modifier, shift and search, and then use the arrow keys.
Chrome, hyphen.
Okay, if I want to hear more in one shot, I can change my granularity levels.
Wikipedia, group, Google, Chrome, hyphen, Wikipedia.
So this gives me group reading mode, so this lets me hear things in one shot in a very easy to understand way. So let's go to that link.
Google Chrome Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia.
You'll also notice that as the page loads, it made a couple of things. This is to let the user know that the page is loaded up and it's ready to go. And once it's fully loaded, you'll also hear the page title. So let's go through this page.
Google Chrome, heading 1.
Okay, so I told you this was a heading.
From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Jump C8, navigation, internal link. This article is about the web browser or the operating system. See Google Chrome OS link, period.
Okay, now let's say I want to quickly go through some of the content, quickly navigate through headings. I can do that by using go to next heading, which is simply ChromeVox modifier, N, and then H for next heading.
Contents, heading 2.
So it just jumped me to the next heading. I can do that again.
Left bracket, heading 2.
Okay.
Left bracket, heading 3. Left bracket, heading 3.
Okay, so it's taking me through a couple of the brackets are different headings. I can resume reading.
Edit link.
Okay, so it's the edit link.
Right bracket, public release.
Okay, and I can keep going from that point.
Link.
So that's some of the basic functionality of ChromeVox. I'm going to go ahead and hand off to James, who will show web apps. James, take it away.
All right. Thank you.
Else?
And I'm going to set
Okay,
my
we're
own
gonna swap.
Chromebook up here.
Let me swap here.
And I have lost my microphone.
Do you want to use mine or?
That would probably be easiest.
Okay. 1 moment here.
Yeah, while we get set up. So notice that you've seen a web of documents so far. Very quickly we are going to the interactive, dynamic, application-oriented web, and Google Docs is probably the web app that pushes the envelope the most with respect to using the web platform to build a rich WYSIWYG editor, and that's what James is about to show you.
All right, so I have my Google Drive homepage here, and sorry, we're lost in the chords, but let me turn on the volume of my Chromebook, and so as you can see with the screen, I have spoken feedback already enabled, and I can move around the page using the ChromeVox keys.
Dismiss banner, but checkbox not checked title.
But Google Drive also has a lot of keyboard shortcuts that make it easy to perform operations within Google Drive. So I'm going to use the Shift T shortcut.
DOCS, untitled document, Google Drive, new line.
And what that's done it's opened a new document, and the cursor is in the it's ready to type. So I can type
A space D A Y space A T space G O G L E space.
and so as I'm typing, Google Docs is reading back through ChromeVox, and I can move around my document. Now here, Google Docs has actually built or is using the ChromeVox API to help speak, because it's a very complicated web app, and it's talking directly to ChromeVox to say when you move when you press the arrow key, speak the letter underneath it. But the ChromeVox navigation is still available. So if I use the ChromeVox keys, such as the up key,
LD selected. Enable screen reader. Ordered list with one items list item. Untitled document. Menu bar. File. Menu collapsed has pop up.
and using the ChromeVox keys, I can still move around the page, and then a number of widgets in Google Docs are using their own keyboard navigation. So I can just use the arrow keys, not the ChromeVox keys, to interact with the menus.
Edit collapsed has pop up. View collapsed has pop up. Insert collapsed has pop up. Insert expanded has pop up. Image. Control plus KL equation. Drawing. Control plus Alt plus M colon. Control plus Alt plus F footnote 6 of 15.
And so here I'm moving through the menus, and I can interact with them, and this is something that Google Docs has built. But the ChromeVox navigation and any other screen reader navigation is still available.
So James teased something interesting there, which is a topic of a future hangout that we are hoping to do, which is he mentioned the ChromeVox API. And what that is really of relevance to web developers, where if you're building a very cutting edge web app and you would like to add, augment, control how things are spoken, the ChromeVox API is actually what you use. So normally you code your web app using standard HTML and ARIA, which we'll quickly show you in terms of how those things work. Do all of your typical web best practices. But then if you finally want to add a little bit of additional accessibility sauce for making your apps really usable, then the ChromeVox API, which we will detail in a future hangout, is basically what you would use.
All right, now I'd like to show you something interesting. So ChromeVox is just it's a Chrome extension written entirely in JavaScript. So we write all our tests and we develop in JavaScript. So here is some of our tests, and this one that I'm going to run is our backward forward test. And what it does is it simulates the ChromeVox commands for moving backwards and forwards, and tries to make it all the way through a web page. And so this makes it really easy for us to find bugs in ChromeVox, and then also to find interesting web pages that break our navigation model, and then hopefully we can fix either the ChromeVox or the web page. So let's see how it does. Okay, so I've turned off the sound, but you could hear ChromeVox talking, and it's running through the entire web page. This is the Wikipedia homepage, and just going forward and then forward again and back, and making sure it ends up in the same place. And as you can see, it's gone all the way through the Wikipedia homepage and has made it back to the top, and so that's a pass. And we run this test and other tests like it on a number of web pages, just looking for errors.
Well, thanks, James. So now, in addition, James said something interesting about finding errors in web pages. We have automated tests like these, which will help make sure your page navigation is sensible. But it's also a good idea to just run ChromeVox and see yourself and see if it makes sense the way that your web page is going through and if you're managing focus correctly. I'm about to show a demo here which illustrates some of the common pitfalls that web developers can very easily fall into, as well as how to fix them. So one moment while we swap. Raman, would you like to say a few words?
Right.
As we swap?
So while Charles is swapping out, we are going to show you a very key piece of functionality in a web app that you need to get right, which is focus management. Because at the end of the day, as you move focus in an app is what the user is working on, and that's what the user is getting spoken feedback about. So if you don't set focus correctly when the user, say, performs the tasks that comes back, it's like you giving your friend a ride, but then instead of dropping him at the front door of his house or the front door of a large building, dropping him off in the middle of a parking lot and say, go find your way. So Charles will show you this briefly today. There is also a much more detailed version of all of these that we did as a talk at Google I/O. If you just search for accessibility in Google I/O 2012, you can watch that talk on YouTube.
Okay. Thanks, Raman. So I have a page here. That's an example page. Okay. And I'm going to navigate through it, and I'm going to try and click on the link. It will bring up a pop-up, and let's see what the behavior is like. So let's get started.
Snack attack. Heading 1. Which snacks are best for hacking all night long? List with 8 items. List item. Pizza delivery link. Object. List with 8 items. List item. Pizza delivery link.
Okay, so far so good. I managed to navigate to the first choice. I really like pizza. Let's try clicking this. Okay, so what just happened here? If I was relying solely on speech, I would think nothing happened, because even though there's a visual pop-up, you don't hear anything. So you really don't know what's going on here. But let's say I'm going to take out faith that something happened. Let's try reading. Let's see what I hear next.
7,965 ratings.
Wait, where is that on the screen?
List item. Caffeinated soda link.
Wait, that's not even on the screen anymore, is it? So what happened here is there was a pop-up that came up, but like Raman said, this is equivalent to taking your friend somewhere and dropping them in the middle of a street and saying you're there, instead of helping them all the way to where they need to go. A pop-up has happened, but it's somewhere at the end of the DOM, and the user hasn't had their focus move there. So the user at this point is kind of struggling on this page. They don't know where the pop-up is, and as far as they can tell, nothing has actually happened, which leads to a pretty frustrating and broken user experience. So let's see how we can make this much better.
Google X Chrome, googlecode.com/EON. Caffeinated snack attack.
Okay, so this page visually looks identical, but let's see what happens when you navigate through it.
Snack attack. Heading 1. Which snacks are best for hacking all night long? Object. Which snack? List with 8 items. List item. Pizza delivery button.
Okay, so let's do this again.
Entering dialog. Rating dialog. No rating. Slider. No rating.
Okay, so in this case, the main difference is that in this example, we've managed focus properly. So when the pop-up shows up, we then put focus on the thing that makes the most sense, which is the ratings bar. And in that case, it triggers ChromeVox or any other screen reader into reading the fact that the user has entered a dialog, as well as what they're currently focused on, which is the ratings bar. And so with that, you can now drive the ratings.
1 star, you gross. 2 stars, May. 3 stars, okay, sure. 4 stars, awesome.
Okay, I think that's pretty awesome. So, but let's see what 5 stars says.
5 stars, NOM.
Okay, I kind of like that. So let's go and let's vote on this.
Vote button.
Okay, I'm going to vote.
Saving.
And it even tells me that
Exiting
saving.
dialog. List with 8
Yeah,
items.
access.
List item. Pizza delivery button.
So that's a much friendlier user experience, and that really helps the user know what they're doing. So with that, Raman, do you want to add anything?
Sure. Yeah. And so basically, for what Charles showed you, we have markup examples for this from a Google I/O talk. None of this is new source that we are inventing. This is all standard HTML5 ARIA bits. The focus management things are really, really key, though. Those are things that you need to do in your JavaScript handlers in terms of how you handle pop-ups and how you handle dialogues. This is not something that a standard specification will tell you. These are more implementation techniques. As we sort of wrap this up, as I said at the top of this talk, this is an open source project. Our goal is to open source this for a couple of reasons. One, Chrome itself is an open source platform, and having ChromeVox as an open source tool really has zero impedance mismatch with the project. But more importantly, we'd like to take the magic and black art out of accessibility and make it something that is a well understood, easy to do bit, because when we do that, more of you who are web developers will implement accessibility and we all win. And towards that end, I'd like Charles and James to give you a quick overview of where the ChromeVox code is. All of our code is on an open source Google code project called Google-Access-Chrome. Charles, you just want to give a...
Yeah. So I already have the ChromeVox Google code page up here. So as Raman mentioned, the URL is simply Google Access Chrome, googlecode.com. And all of our source code is here. This includes ChromeVox, as well as some of our other projects, such as a low vision tool, ChromeViz. And you can also get our voice here, Lois TTS. This also includes our Google I/O talks, which include all the examples that we just went through. And if you're interested in contributing, there's a source link right up here, and that will tell you how you can check out the code, and patches are very welcome and appreciated.
So for platforms where ChromeVox isn't pre-built in, so you're a Linux developer and you're developing your web app on Linux or a MacBook or a Windows box or whatever, you will need to install ChromeVox, the extension from the Chrome Web Store. Lois, which Charles mentioned, is the low-end voice that I talked about at the beginning. And if you search in the Chrome Web Store for Google TTS, you will also see our higher quality voice. It's a bigger download, the higher quality voice, obviously because it's higher quality, and then you get a much better sounding voice. Play with it, send us email. The project page tells us how you can find us. There's a Google group for this work. Above all, test your code with ChromeVox. Test the experience, and it'll make a difference both to your site and to the users who come to your site. Thank you.
Thanks.